Mom. Dad. Juliet. Neve. What are you doing? That's my job to screw it up.
I got it wrong.
Hello everybody, and welcome back. It's another episode of Pancake Friday. This is officially, I believe, week 13, 10, 12. Let's see here.
13, 10, 12. There's sure a lot of numbers. I think you're 12, no?
12, yeah. We're on 12 episodes, so that's what, 3 months?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that right?
12
weeks is 3 months?
Well, yeah, like
Thursdays.
Including February, yeah.
Yeah. I know it's not literally because of like how, but it is like for 12 weeks. Wow.
Yeah, go us.
I mean, what are your feelings on that?
I mean, I think we were always gonna have like a good streak, but there were just odd things that came up where we missed them. So
what was it? There was one of them because it wasn't like we were just like, let's not do it this week. Yeah. It was like we had issues.
Well,
like,
didn't you get mouth surgery at one point?
My nose surgery, and I wanted to do it that night, but like I could barely walk.
Yeah,
I thought Juliet could speak in full sentences. Remember, I was so high. I was like, I think Juliet just said, "Thank you, Dada." Yeah. And still to this day, Juliet has not come close to any of that.
Thank you, Dada.
She's just said Dada.
I think that was the pain pills. You were so high, and you were so convinced it happened. And like, I didn't hear it, so I couldn't say either way. But like, I was right there. So if she did say,
I'm just gonna recap this
it
for people. So I come off my pain pills, and is it the same day? Because I got the surgery early, right?
No, she was already in bed by the time you came home from the surgery.
Okay, so it was the next day. I wake up, and I come outside. I'm all like groggy and out of it from my pain pills. And she, at this point, I don't even think she could crawl. Could she? Or maybe she could, but she was very immobile. She was like, she was more just like, she was more just sat there.
Yeah.
And
she was in her high chair, I think.
And I came over and I was like, "Hey, sweetie," and I gave her a kiss. And then she said like, so I gave her something, and I swear she went, "Thank you, Dada." Like not like da, like full on, just perfect. Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, Neve."
Yeah, he was like, "Neve, did you hear that?" And I'm like, "No."
No, and I was like, "I swear." But then like, it's weird because like, I don't know, that for that to be true, which is fully possible. I was just very high.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense because nothing else that happened to me while I was high was anything close to that experience.
Yeah.
Like everything else was like I don't know, you know what it's like.
You just felt really sick when you were on your pain pills.
Yeah, and groggy, right? So to have this one random moment where Juliet, I like hallucinate her speaking perfectly English just didn't make sense. But I also know like
pain pills can do wacky shit.
Yeah.
I just don't think she said it to you, but you were like convinced for like a long time, and I was like, I don't think she said that to her.
Yeah, you just didn't take enough morphine to hear it.
Yeah, that's
yeah, that was the problem. So yeah, this is episode 12, which I didn't even really have that on my radar until we just started. How sweet that is, we're doing
12 in a row, baby.
Yeah, Neve, how has your week been?
My week was so much fun.
Yeah, let's talk about that because that's where the party's at. Yeah,
so Rachel's bachelorette was honestly just so much fun. I was sad because I missed JJ so much because it was the first time I've had like away from her more than like overnight. So I really missed her, but it was also just super fun to kind of like be on like a little party weekend with the girls.
Of course.
And I was super skeptical about going away with 11 girls for 3 nights.
That's fair.
Just because I've never done that before, and I've never had that many like girlfriends like in the same group ever.
So you're just shocked that there's 11 girls that you like around you.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Like, there was no one there that I like didn't like or didn't have good conversation with. They were just a real, and I don't know why I'm so surprised, because Rachel is obviously like the best of people. Like, you're never gonna find another Rachel.
She is overly nice.
Yeah,
like, not in a bad way. She's just super sweet.
So I shouldn't have had any doubts that anyone that Rachel had like chosen to be part of that group weren't gonna be good people. But it just really like, it was just really nice. Like, there was no beef, there was no drama. It was just good, fun times.
That's shocking to me.
And no one was like, you know, like, you didn't have to babysit anyone. Like, no one was making it about them. Like, everyone was just there to like give Rachel all the love they possibly could. And I think that's just really valuable in a friendship anyway, is to just like always be rooting for that other person.
Of course.
And yeah, everyone just made it really special for her, and I think she had a great time, which was the main thing.
That's all that matters. Yeah. Awesome. And
that was super fun.
Yeah, like, walk us through it. So you get to the airport, what happens?
I get to the airport, I have some vino.
What time was it?
I got to the airport probably around 12. I got to the airport.
That's fine.
Time doesn't exist in airports.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's fine at any time. It's just always awkward when you're there at 7 a.m. having a beer.
No, it's not. Not for me.
Well, it's not for you or me, but it is. It's awkward. Like, when you step back and you're like, 7 a.m. they're having a beer. You're like, yeah, I'll have a coffee too later.
In England, we would always go like to Heathrow in London. You would go get a Burger King, and you could get a beer at the Burger King. So no matter what time of day it was, we would be there at like 10 a.m. having beer and a Burger King before our flights, because that was just like the done thing.
One thing, I don't know if England's the same. I think most of like Western Europe is. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's weird because like we have breakfast food. Quite a bit of the world doesn't have like the same, like, you know what I mean? Like bacon, eggs, sausage, that's breakfast food, right? You wouldn't eat pasta for breakfast. But that's a very like Western, I don't know if it's West or North American thing, but like you go to Japan or you go to Asia, you go to like India, or like they'll just, whatever they eat is what they eat. And it's weird because like breakfast is good for dinner. But like why is that like, oh yeah, breakfast, it's just food?
I could honestly eat breakfast food all day, every day. I love it so much. You know how obsessed I am with breakfast food.
Well, you know my feelings on breakfast.
Yeah, I know you love breakfast.
I could kill anyone that likes breakfast.
Oh,
no, I don't know. To be honest with you, I could take it or leave it with breakfast. Since I've met you, I've definitely become more a fan of it. But you, like, my main reason with breakfast, it's not really the food. It's just thinking my stomach in the morning. I usually don't eat. So that's kind of why I'm always like, I wake up and then I'm like, oh, I don't really want bacon and eggs, but it's more, I just don't eat.
And that's the same thing. Like, I'm the same. I don't like eating in the mornings. Like, I'll never eat as soon as I wake up unless I'm super hungover. But I'm talking about having breakfast foods at any time of the day. Yeah. Like, breakfast foods, I just think like bacon, sausages, eggs, hash browns, like, are like some of the like god tier of foods. Yeah. You know, like, just in general, like eggs are just mwah.
See, bellissimo. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big egg guy, except I've fallen in love with the French omelet.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I know.
I know. You don't love your eggs.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Is it possible to make a French omelet with 2 eggs or 1 egg, or does it have to always be like a 3-egg omelet?
No, you can make it with any amount of eggs.
Because what I'm finding is I do a 3-egg omelet.
Too much for French.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you only want 2 for French omelets. I only make French omelets with 2.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't figure out how you're doing it, because mine always come out. I swore you said do 3-eggers, and I can do them and flip them. But what I find by the final flip, it's so heavy. It's like impossible, whereas yours are perfect burritos. Yeah. I'm going to try 2-egger, but it's for me and JJ, so that's why I make more.
Especially because, like, when you have 3 eggs in the pan, like, and you should have a decent amount of butter in there as well, right? Yeah, sure, yeah. So when you have the 3 eggs in the pan with the butter, like, the eggs are heavy, so you're gonna get an uneven cook. And then when you try and like flip it up, the outside is gonna be a lot more cooked than the inside.
Yeah,
and
that's
you don't
what
want
happens.
that. You want it to be like just cooked on the outside and then like soft on the inside.
Okay, that makes sense. That's why I couldn't do it, because I always felt like to not make it fracture or crack or whatever, I had to let it cook more, and then it would lose that. Okay,
yeah, then it kind of browns a bit.
Well, there you go, folks. I think we're going to end this pod 10 minutes in. We learned a little too much for one day. I don't want to overload our viewers' brains with all this.
Yeah, all this good egg talk.
Now back to what we were talking about before, the rest of breakfast.
But wait, I got to put in this fun fact. I'm egg trained.
Yeah, you are.
You know that?
That means that you've been beat with eggs?
No, I mean that too. But...
Your mom? No, this omelet's not good. Throws out the window, throws an egg at you.
Don't do that.
Clean up.
No, when I was working, like when I was at university, I worked at this little diner, and I was training for management. So they were like, "Oh, let's just put Neve on a course." And the only course that they had coming up was this egg train one for the chefs, because we did like American style breakfast.
Oh.
So they taught us how to make all different kinds of eggs, and I got a little certificate at the end.
Do you still have it?
No, I don't still have it.
Why wouldn't you keep that?
I don't know. I was like 20 at the time.
Like, imagine you walk into your little office at your work.
I wish I'd kept it.
And you have your little egg train certificate.
Yeah, I was really tempted to ask them to like reprint it for me, because I lost it in my locker or something.
Okay, well, what's your favorite type of egg then?
I'm a big fan of a poached egg. I love the French omelets when I make them, but overall it's going to have to be a medium poachy.
I honestly used to love poached eggs, but that's when I was a sellout.
So you're not anymore?
No, I'm still a sellout.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I like poached, but I have to say the French omelet is pretty ridiculous. I really want us to do that Josh Weissman thing where you do the 100 styles of eggs.
I'm like, well, and that's bullshit. There's not 100 styles of eggs. And the only reason he got away with that because he was doing like a hard scramble, a medium scramble, a soft
yeah.
Shut up, dude.
But so what? UK, fine. If it's 50 types because you get rid of all those.
I doubt it's even 50.
Okay, well, whatever it is, I think we should try and make them all.
Sure.
And by me, I'll watch
you mean
and
me.
eat them. Yeah.
I'm
not egg trained. What, you want me to break all these eggs? That's crazy. You're the only one that knows how to do this.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. Do you know what I did with an egg the other day that I'd never thought of doing, but it made it so good?
No.
Do you remember that, like the dill soup that we had a while ago? It was the cooking box one.
Dill soup?
Yeah, it was like a chicken soup and it had dill.
Did I like it?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
It was like a really creamy soup.
Okay.
And it had dill and chicken.
I just don't remember you
shredded
ever
chicken.
making soup, to be honest.
Oh my god, what do you mean you don't remember me making a soup?
You make really good food all the time.
Okay, well, I had a good food box like a few weeks ago, and I made a really good, and it was shredded chicken and dill creamy soup. It was really fucking good, and you said it was really good.
You know, I kind of remember that. Like, I can't fully remember, but I do remember.
Well,
there's
either
a dill
way,
thing.
once the soup was cooked, what I did to make it so creamy, and I say what I did, I mean what the instruction told me to do, was you take it off the heat, and then you have a whisked egg, and you just put the egg in the soup to like cook in the hot water, and that's what makes it so creamy.
Oh, interesting.
And it was awesome. Like, it tasted so good.
Gabe is the king of throwing an egg in soup. You should tell him that story, and he'll be like, yeah, I love putting eggs in soup. Yeah, that's a very Asian thing, is they'll just have a soup and crack an egg in it.
Yeah, I really like, I don't necessarily like, you have to do it right, but it's very different to like ramen, because you have like the soft boiled egg,
soft boiled egg in
which
ramen,
I fuck with.
That is great.
So good.
I hate hard boiled.
Hard boiled, honestly, if you're eating hard boiled eggs, I think there's something probably really wrong with you.
Yeah, it's awkward because one of my like oldest colleagues is Thomas.
Yeah.
And like we've known each other forever now, and I really like Thomas, always have, but he likes hard-boiled eggs, and I'm like, is this guy for real?
No.
Like, am I supposed to still be colleagues with him?
Like,
or is he just some guy that I've known for a very long time and worked alongside? But
they're a really good source of protein and really low fat. So I get that, because when you cook the yolk, you're like cooking off the fat, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a protein. It's like you're leaning it out. Yeah. Actually, don't quote me on that, because I'm not 100% sure.
Let me just put it
right.
this way. If you're trying to lose weight by eating hard-boiled eggs, maybe just don't lose weight.
Honestly, take anything over a hard-boiled egg. I don't mind them in a Cobb salad. But I'd still prefer it to be like a medium boil.
This is a big tangent topic, but it's a super annoying. You know my feelings on Ozempic, and I think it's so fucking stupid, right?
Yeah.
So I just read a study today, or an article, not a study.
What, that they should eat hard-boiled eggs?
No, it's such horseshit. It's 100% without looking at anything. I can guarantee you, whoever wrote this article is making their money via pharmaceutical drugs, Ozempic. Like there's some like kickback or something, or they've been paid to, because the article said, it goes on talking about there's Ozempic, and then there's a few other ones that are basically Ozempic, but they have different names, right? And it says that it talks about how when you're on Ozempic, how you have to work out still too, which on one side is very true. Like you should always be active, right? Yeah. But like the way it made it seem, it was listing all the benefits of Ozempic working out, but it was just the benefits of working out. So they've like attached to Ozempic this thing of like, oh, like if you like, it's not saying you should work out even if you're on Ozempic. Yeah. It's saying like, for Ozempic to work properly, you have to be working out. But the benefits it's talking about is just working out. And I feel like it's this like weird thing where it's trying to like normalize like, oh yeah, Ozempic, this is like how it works. And if you work out and take Ozempic, this is what happens. But you don't need the Ozempic to do that. It's just working out. Yeah. Do you kind of get what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just was reading and I was like, this is such horseshit, because it's like such a piggyback of a thing, because what you're basically being like is like, take Ozempic and work out and you'll be really healthy. And I'm like, you don't need the Ozempic.
Yeah, I mean, welcome to sales.
Yeah.
That's literally all it is. You're just selling something. That's like the whole thing with these pharmaceutical companies in North America, is like they're selling you a product. Like it's not like it might be something that will benefit you, but at the end of the day, it's just people trying to get you to use their brand of whatever's out at the time.
Yeah. So, like, don't get me wrong. If you're like severely obese and you like have diabetes and you need it to like get moving and you start doing it, then I'm not going to be like, that person shouldn't take it. But I do think there's like an abusive thing that goes on with Ozempic. Like this,
every drug.
That's true. I just like listen to this. I just heard this today, via sources that I'm not going to list on here, but they're credible people within healthcare. Sure they are. So guess what a doctor in Surrey did?
What?
Okay, I think this is it. Depending on what happens with it, I think this will become news in a week or two here. Yeah. They were having people come in, prescribing them Ozempic without telling them that they were being prescribed Ozempic, then going to the pharmacy, paying for their prescription in cash, and then selling it to people for a marked up price. That because Ozempic's like, it's like the hot drug right now, right? Like,
I mean, not shocked that's going on in Surrey,
right? But I thought it was so crazy, and I asked them, I was like, so what happened? And they were like, well, we reported them. Yeah. But that's all they can do is where they're like, their part of it is. But yeah, I was just like, holy, like this is like, it's become like,
that's wild as well, because like the people that you're prescribing it under their name, if they go into like a medical situation in an emergency, it's going to list on their
That's how they figured it out.
Yeah, medications that they're taking Ozempic.
It was this woman comes in and she's like in her late 60s and they start looking at her medical records and right away they were like, oh, we see you've been on Ozempic the last 6 months. And she went, what's Ozempic? And they were like, it's this fat thing, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, what? And then they're like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then they kind of like traced it back.
Yeah, they can see when you filled out your prescription.
They can see all that stuff. And she was like, no. And then they're like, it's this doctor out in Surrey. And she's like, what? I went to them once because they were like some specialist for something. And I didn't take their advice and never went back. And then they're like, when they were asking all the questions, they're like, are you sure you've never taken this medication? It's an injection. Because it was Ozempic's an injection, right? And she was like, yeah, no, I'm afraid of needles. I'd never do anything. How crazy is that? But it's not surprising because like it's like
that's dangerous. That like really fucks with people. Because what if there's some crazy drug reaction between, I don't know, like something they have to give you to get your heart going in Ozempic, so they don't give you that thing and your heart stops. Like that's the biggest fucking lawsuit on your hands, and like somebody's life on your hands as well. Like that's a really fucked up, corrupt thing to do. Fucked up. But I'm not shocked it happened in Surrey.
No, not at all. That's not at all. And you know what's even more fucked is
even fucked upper.
More fucked upperist. The doctor knew that this person only paid in cash because they don't have a debit card or anything because they don't do that. So the doctor obviously targeted them because they knew they could do it because you can't go in there and pay with like debit cards and stuff. Oh, that wasn't me. It's like you just paid everything in cash. Anyhow,
that's crazy.
All I'm saying, I've said it for so long. We're going to be 10, 15 years down the road and there's going to be all these people with severe gastric problems because they were doing stomach paralysis drug. Yeah.
And that's
so sad.
Like, it makes me feel really sad, especially, and I've said this to you before, about, like, and on the other side of it, I've said it about, like, you used to watch all those, like, food challenges and stuff, and I've said, like, it makes me feel really sick and disgusted because people are, like, intentionally, like, harming their insides, and as somebody who has, like, had like majority of my life like having to think about what I'm putting in my body because like I could end up with a fucking shit bag, like that, it really upsets me to think of people like doing that intentionally, knowing or not knowing, but either way just like without thinking of the consequences. Yeah,
I mean, I don't know, it's really weird to me because like it's just really weird to me that this is like the irony of the world we live in. We have all these people that are preaching about like, we got to like be kind to everyone and be friendly and save everyone and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, there's half the world is starving or a third of the world starving. And then the other third has eaten themselves to become so fat. They need a pill or they need an injection to get rid of their eating habits.
Yeah, it's gross.
Like that's a fucked up scenario to be in.
Yeah. Anyway, can we go back to talking about the Bachelorette I was on?
Sorry, yeah.
It got so off tangent.
We did, as we do.
Anyway, eggs, bacon, breakfast.
So yes, one more thing about breakfast. I do love sausage of any type, but
I fucking hate maple sausage and maple bacon. You always get it.
But I love breakfast sausage in both pucks and the little links. Oh, both are amazing.
See, breakfast sausage, what you call breakfast sausage here, I would call more of like a Cumberland sausage.
Well, I love Cumberland in my mouth.
But in England, we have many types of sausages. And I would call that a Cumberland rather than a breakfast. But you call it like a breakfast sausage, which makes sense, I guess, because it's part of an English breakfast.
Okay, so as we were saying, we've been caught
so I got to the airport.
Yeah, we haven't even got to the airport yet.
Anyway, flew there, and I partially like decided not to tell them that I'd landed and that I was gonna arrive and just like go there. But also for some reason, this time when I went to the States, I had zero signal. like, normally when your phone auto connects to the network.
Yeah.
Didn't happen, and I tried to do it manually on all the different networks. Nothing was happening. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I just don't have a phone this whole weekend. Why? I don't know. I still don't know.
It's a red state. We don't do those in Canada.
Oh, yeah,
anymore.
probably. Yeah. But, anyway, so I could only use, like, the Wi-Fi at the, airport to, like, get an Uber there. So I couldn't tell them I was coming even if I wanted to. But then I arrived there and I try and unlock the door and I don't know the door code. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I just have to knock. And I knocked and I showed up. Everyone was already half cut when I got there. So I'm like, okay, like somebody get me a drink. We have a really fun first night. I get straight in the pool, obviously.
Was it hot?
No, it was freezing.
No,
it was so cold.
Arizona.
Oh, Arizona was so hot. Yeah.
Nice.
It was at least 25 every day.
So could you just sit in the pool even though it was cold?
It like took a minute to get in, but once you're in, you're like, yeah, this is nice.
Yeah.
There was actually, I had a really funny time trying to get on a pool floaty. They had these like mini rings and it was really hard to like actually try and sit in, and I actually went head over ass at one point. That was just pretty funny. Anyway, and then we did bracelet making, and then we did this quiz. So the funniest thing was we were doing this like little PowerPoint quiz about Rachel, and like it all came up and you had to answer the questions on your phones, and it was all like funny stuff, like, or like nice stuff, like what kind of flower would Rachel be, and like all of this stuff. Sierra was so fucking drunk. She couldn't get onto the game, and she was texting Kudo. Her phone provider, yeah. Her phone provider, the answers, like the illegible as well. Like she couldn't type, she was drunk.
So it's just
so
like
these like illegible, and Kudo's like replying to her like, "We do not understand your message." And she's like, "Neve, like, why aren't mine showing up?" I'm like, dude, what are you doing? She was on the IATSE website at one point. I'm like, in the morning I told her about it and she was like, fuck it, and I hope I didn't text anyone from work. I'm like, yeah, I hope you didn't too.
You know you're in love with your job when you get blackout hammered and go on the IATSE website.
It's like, girl, what are you doing?
That's awesome.
Anyway, yeah, it was a really fun first night. We were all like naked in the pool and just vibing.
Where is it? Everyone or just you naked in the pool?
No, there was like three or four of us that got naked and went in the pool.
Classic.
I might have suggested it, but who really knows?
It was you.
Probably me. So that was super fun. Everyone was super hungover the next day, and we did brunch at this really awesome place that had like a DJ and a Bloody Mary, like make your own Bloody Mary bar.
How was that?
It was actually, I went to that place last time I was in Arizona. It's the same place. Yeah.
So what's a make it yourself Bloody Mary bar look like?
So like you go up and it's like an ice bar, and they have like pickled all different types of veggies,
like your
and like
garnishes
bacon.
and
Yeah, that
cool.
kind of stuff.
And no Clamato juice.
No, so I didn't have one because I only like Caesars. I don't like Bloody Marys.
It's just weird because like I personally don't think Bloody Marys are good.
No, me neither. They're too thick.
Yeah, and
like
it's
the
just
Clamato, the clam juice really waters it down a little bit.
That's what it is. I didn't know that till you said it. But yeah, because it's just I don't really like clam juice. Like I'm not like, oh yum, but it's just it makes
brings a nice like briny flavor.
And tomato juice.
It's like a soup.
Who the fuck drinks tomato juice?
Weirdos.
Does your dad?
My mom does.
Sorry, Julie, I don't mean to. No, but
I think my mom prefers a Caesar now, though, to a Bloody Mary.
It's I don't know. When I think of any like tomato sauce, all that stuff, it's very acidic and thick.
She was thick. She was way too thick.
Did they have like anything crazy, or was it like just Worcestershire hot sauces kind of things?
I didn't see the sauces, but I'm sure they probably had crazy ones. But the food there was so fucking good. I can't even remember what I had. I had like I had a birria, like birria taco, like the birria meat and consomme and stuff. Birria.
What's that?
It's like a type of taco that so a birria taco is
Can you say that slower? Beer?
Birria. Birria.
Never heard of it.
Okay, they have them at the taco place down by my work. Okay. So they're these it's like a slow pulled beef inside a taco, but the taco is like cheese crusted. Almost almost like an empanada, and then it comes with a consomme or like a jus, and you dip it in. Are you listening to anything I'm saying? Okay, you're just so blank.
And then you
and then you dip it in jus. It's really fucking good. So I had a birria Benny. So It was like 3 sopes, like the little like thicker tortillas, and then like a melted cheese cone over the top, and it was layered with slow cooked beef.
God, I love America.
Eggs, and then jalapeno hollandaise.
How do you not love America?
Good. It was
that's
so
fucking
good.
crazy. Whoever made that, were they huge? Like
it was honestly, and you know how big American portions are, right? So I'm like powering through this. I'm like, fuck the sopes. Like I don't need the carbs. Like just because the food tasted so good that I just didn't want to like stop eating. And everyone else was like, I can only get halfway through. I'm like, no, like this is too good to waste.
I know whenever you travel, you always go to try the food. And you're like, oh, like it's a fun part of travel is trying different foods. But I think America has, every time I go there, I have so much fun eating their food. Because the thing is, the reason that there's all this obesity and stuff is because it's such garbage. Like it's so bad for you.
Yeah.
But to go there and just eat it once, it's so good.
It tastes awesome.
It's like that's the problem is like you can kind of understand in a way. Like obviously you don't want to say like, oh, I'd eat so much and get like super overweight obese, but like everywhere you go, everything you order is so extravagant and like delicate.
Definitely not delicate. Decadent. Yeah, decadent. Yeah.
Like
the food was really awesome. The Mexican place you went to on the second night, it wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but it was very like wholesome, like it was like run all Mexican family run, like you could tell it was very like family vibe.
That's good.
And all of that stuff. And the food was like good, but the margaritas were where it was at. The margaritas were so freaking good.
I'm not gonna lie, for me, Mexican, there's basically one of you either make good margaritas or food, one of the two, either or, and I'll be like, it's a good place. Yeah.
But we got pictures, and they were fresh lime margaritas, and they were so freaking good, dude. Like so freaking good.
Leave a comment in the comment section. Do you prefer your margaritas on ice or crushed?
No, there's like that isn't even a question, Derek. Who prefers them crushed? Like a slushie?
Yeah.
That's not a real margarita. Well, that's pussy shit.
I used to.
Well, that's because you're a pussy.
I used to.
Until you met me. And
I said I used to.
And I manned you up a a little bit.
Jesus Christ. That's fucked. Okay, well, in this podcast, I'm going to delete this. This is harsh. I feel assaulted. Leave a thing in the comments. You're not pussies. Or you can join anyone that leaves crushed ice ones. You join the D Squad. Yeah, that's right. We got merch coming out soon. The D Squad. Tell us you like crushed ice margaritas. You'll be part of the squad.
We should make mugs that say D Squad or real marg bitches. And
both.
No.
Yeah.
No, you were only one or the other, and whoever sells the most will be the winner of the crush.
So yours is real marg bitches and mine's the D Squad?
Yeah.
And they're mugs.
Yeah.
So we have to open the Patreon.
Oh, dude, I could sell 100. I'm just gonna tell people at work that like Juliet's fundraising for Girl Scout
you don't.
cookies.
You have no. You'd set them up through the pod's website.
Oh, clearly you're not a good salesperson, Derek. You just lie to people and they buy your shit.
Neve, we're a podcast. We're not a sales company. Speaking of which, I have a new product you should all check out.
Here's my time to plug.
It's that time of the show where we plug everyone's favorite non-sponsored products. Today's unofficial sponsor is Jack Daniel's whiskey. You want Jack Daniels? You're going to have to cross the border to get it, motherfucker.
I was like, have you ever bought a bottle of Jack Daniels in your life?
If you're a true patriot to America, then get the fuck out of here because Jack Daniels isn't on our shelves. Brought to you by Jack Daniels, the unofficial sponsor of this podcast.
I don't think I've ever met anyone in Canada that would drink JD over Bean.
No. Well, actually, I'm not going to lie. Beam. Who would have thought? It's Jim Beam. I'm not going to lie. I think most people here drink with JD.
Yeah. Canada. Oh, thanks.
Okay. Well, we still haven't even got to what the house looks like.
Oh, it was like a Barbie dream house. Yeah. It was literally a Barbie dream house. Like, everything was pink. All the kitchen appliances were pink. Sorry. Wow. Sorry, I just poured myself a full glass of wine and left, like, the dregs for Derek.
What's the name of that wine?
Blasted Church.
Yeah, it's like, it's got Jesus on it, but he's doing some...
No, it's got like a nun holding another nun's hair back. Or maybe she's praying. I don't know.
Whoa, that's actually... I got a question.
Yeah.
Did the nuns get hammered? They musta.
What, back in nun times?
And I mean, even now. But definitely, like,
I mean,
nuns still exist.
They're drinking the blood of Christ, so that's wine. Wine is the blood of... We're drinking the blood of Christ right
but
now.
like wine, like, it's kind of weird how wine has always just kind of been there. Like for sure there was some nuns getting hammered in the nunnery.
Yeah. Probably getting pounded by priests too.
No, the priests don't do girls. They do boys.
Oh yeah, and only little ones.
Yeah, I guess we're actually, honestly, Juliet'd be pretty safe in the Catholic Church.
She would be.
She'd be like, they'd be like, ew, get her out of here. Give her an education and let her be gone. Now, little Charlie, you failed. He's like, I've been here 28 years.
Yeah, to be fair, we could definitely put Juliet in a Catholic school and make sure she'll... No, I don't know, though, because what was the Catholic girls' school that was, like, adjacent to your boys' school? Or did you have girls at your school, too?
No, well, you were normal, or normies, pardon.
But what did they call the girls at STA? What did they...
Oh, the Slut Training Academy?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they called it Slutherland, too. And that Sutherland had a daycare for all the underage moms' kids to go to.
Okay, so there's just sluts everywhere in North Van.
Yeah.
That's the moral of the story.
I'd argue everyone's a slut, guy and girl. Except Jesus. Okay, back to the nuns puking.
Wait, back to the fucking house, dude.
Well, I'm sorry. When you bring up nuns puking, that's something we have to touch on.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, the house was Barbie pink dream house. It had like a Barbie box that you could go and take. No, we didn't actually take pictures in it the whole time.
At all?
No, not at all.
Isn't that why you rented the house?
Not just for that. It was like a really nice house in a super convenient place, and it had a pool. So, there's many other things apart from the Barbie box.
Do you think guys would have wanted to go?
No. Unless they were very gay.
Louis.
Lulu. But it was a really, really nice house. And then what did we do? Oh, and then so we went to karaoke the same night we went to the Mexican restaurant. Sang some songs. It was like a real, like, it's funny because the karaoke bar had like a front section which was bumping, and then had a back section which was like a little dive bar full of like middle-aged men, and they put us in the back section. But we were vibing, we were having a great time. It was fucking awesome.
It's probably more fun having a whole bunch of
middle-aged men.
You know what's really
rude though?
What?
They didn't have any Eminem.
That is weird. What kind of
there was all like 40-year-old dudes singing like AC/DC.
I can speak from experience of booking your karaoke. You have to look into what the music is. It's because I just at first assumed you go there and there's music, But a lot of the karaokes you look into, the rating is basically based on how the music is.
Yeah.
Like there'll be other things, but at the end they're like the music sucked or it was good. Yeah.
The best one that we went to was the one in Hawaii for like variety of songs. They had everything.
I just want to give a shout out to all the Filipinos. You're all great at singing karaoke.
Yeah, Filipinos are like weirdly good at singing karaoke.
Well, I think it's like, I don't know, like what do non-Filipino, like what is a normal family thing to do just in general? Go to the park? I think Filipinos obviously still do that, but like they also sing karaoke. Like it's the same thing as going to the park.
To be fair, like when I was a kid, we used to have on the PS1 when it was first out, PlayStation. That's an abbreviation for don't know.
What
if you
is
know
this
that.
one?
There was no one because it was the only one. But I feel like I have to clarify, like it was the first one. They used to have SingStar, and I don't know if you know what SingStar is. Yeah, you know what SingStar is.
Yeah, I beat it.
Okay. But I always used to, like, that was the thing that was out at the time, so I always used to go to my friend's house and play SingStar, but it would be, like, just me and them in their room or their living room or something.
My parents' basement has, like, a hardcore karaoke. We should go down there and look at it sometime. Like,
we should go down there and just sing.
But, like, straight up, like, even now, like, because it's older sound system, but it's big, and the mics are, like, there's, like, 4, like, world-class mics. Because my dad used to go down there and just, like, belt out all night singing Chestnuts on a Roasting Fire. He'd be like, Chestnuts. He'd be like, shut up, dude. It's, like, 12 at night. Why do you got to sing karaoke? But
such a random
my
thing
family
to do.
wouldn't let me sing.
I'm not shocked, babe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
I love you, but
there's a little part of me, and I'll be honest with you, that wants me to say fuck you to everyone, because everyone has always said I suck at singing and music, everything. Always made fun of me. Always. I'm not saying now like you, like I'm over it. I don't care now when people do. But when I was younger, I actually think people turned me off to music because of how much fun they made of me.
Well, I think there's also things that you have to accept that you're good and bad at. Like, I'm never going to say, like, oh, I would have been a pro athlete if people didn't say I sucked at sports. Like, I sucked at sports. I still suck at sports. Everyone knows I suck at sports.
Yeah, but I'm not sitting there asking to be Taylor Swift. I just feel
no one's telling you not to sing. They're just saying, like, if you do sing, be prepared for us to tell you that you suck. Like,
you know
that's in your head, dude.
No, that
that's
just proves my point. No. That just proves my point. Yeah, it just proves my point.
You're just you're thinking about it too much.
I'm just gonna go back and be in my monotone self and not having any joy because I can't sing.
No, because how much fun did you have on that road trip that we had to Shuswap when we were blasting out the tunes and singing along?
Well, you were singing and I was watching because I don't know how to sing.
No, you weren't. You were singing.
No, I know. I was just watching because I can't sing apparently.
I know. I'm saying you're not good at singing. You can still do it. No one's stopping you. I've never once told you to, like, shut up because you're singing.
Actually, you have
You're
told
just
me to
being
stop.
self-conscious and being all in your head about it. Like, just don't care what other people say.
I'd cry, but I don't know how.
There you go. You sang karaoke at my birthday.
You guys
Did anyone boo?
Yeah.
No, not one person booed you.
Hunter did.
That's a lie.
He booed me with his eyes.
You're lying. You're just up in your head about it, so you don't want to do it in front of other people.
Do you have any tattoos?
No.
Good. Okay, so the Barbie house.
Okay, so after our karaoke night, we went to the next day. It was really funny because so many people were so hungover, and we had to take an hour Uber. And the Ubers in Arizona are also sketchy as fuck. Like,
how so?
We were in the car that we were in for this ride. It was like over an hour ride. Everyone was hungover as fuck, and honestly, Claire and I were in like the backpack. And we were so uncomfortable this whole ride. And this car, we thought it was going to fall apart. Like, it literally...
Was that shitty?
Yeah.
I hate being in the back seat of cars, like when it's like everyone else is chilling and you're in the back, like, oh god, this is like not a comfortable ride.
Yeah, it was honestly like a form of torture. And then we got there, and immediately Rachel and Claire had to go puke. And then we went on this 4-hour boat ride, which was actually super fun. Once everyone kind of got over their hangovers and we were all just vibing, it was a really good time.
I mean, the fresh air is so nice when you're hungover. Yeah.
Yeah, and just being on the lake, it was so nice. We were all like got our drink on as well, and then by the time we got back, we also had to wait like 2.5 hours to get a ride back from this place because us being girly trip, we didn't think to like plan a ride back.
We're hot young girls. We'll be fine. Yeah. Like, there's still an hour drive back.
Dude, like, Jasmine was drunk as well, and she was like, we should just hitch a ride with someone to the gas station. I'm like, Jasmine, I'm like, we're in Arizona. We're 9 girls. One of us is, like, one girl was, like, I think 4 or 5 months pregnant. I'm like... We're also in Arizona, so everyone's probably got guns in their cars. Like,
I'm pretty sure
no
Arizona you can carry, like, you can open carry.
Open carry.
Yeah,
or concealed carry.
Is it? I think it's concealed carry. That's what. That's what's crazy is anyone can just have a gun on them.
Exactly, and she's like, yeah, we could just like hitch. I'm like, no, we're not doing that right now.
Or wait, no, I think open carry's the crazy one.
No, conceal carry.
No.
Because you can conceal your weapon and you don't have to carry it openly.
No, I know, but I think that, I think to you and I, it's open carry that's weird because concealed carry, you don't know they have a gun.
Yeah.
Open carry is you're in Walmart and someone has a huge pistol on their holster.
No, I think concealed carry is more sketchy. Because if it's open carry, you can be like, "Oh, that person's got a gun."
Here,
I feel like
anyone
you look
up is Arizona open or concealed carry?
I feel like anyone either way though.
I agree with I agree with you. If you see the gun, I disagree. I think most people that aren't from America or somewhere where like people are walking around with guns, they're more comfortable not seeing guns.
True. Arizona is a constitutional carry state, meaning you can openly carry. Oh, fuck. Openly carry. Oh, I fucking hate Google. Google, fuck you.
Yeah,
You're my sell of the week.
You're my sell of my lifetime.
Arizona allows individuals aged 18 and above to openly carry legal firearms in most public places.
Yeah, and see, that's what's sketchy.
Even minors under the age of 18 can open carry, provided they are under the direct supervision of a parent or guardian.
See, and that's what's sketchy is because, like, in other states, you can carry around a gun. You can't have it like an open.
Oh, and also Arizona allows concealed carry by adults without a permit. So if you don't have a permit, you can still carry a gun and you can conceal it.
No, you have to hide it, which makes no sense. But yeah, no, that's what's sketchy about it is like to you and I seeing some dude at the grocery store or the gas station with a huge pistol, like he's a cop, right?
Yeah.
You'd be like, what the fuck? And that's what's weird about open carry. Because if you're in America, there's people walking around with guns all around you with guns always. Except New York, I think. I don't think in the state of New York, or not the state, in the city of New York.
I think there's a few states that you can open carry.
No, most of them you can't.
Yeah.
Cannot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. But there's one thing that people say there. I've heard this saying before as I've traveled around is people are nicer in Arizona because you could see their gun on their holster. And I was like, yeah, I guess.
Dude, honestly, everyone we met in Arizona was so nice. Like,
oh, that's weird.
Do you know it's some
turns out people are normal.
No, do you know what's always the southern states, like the Bible Belt of America, always gets such a bad rep because they're like, oh, they're all like gun-toting hillbilly Republicans and all of this shit. But honestly, the only people I've ever met from the southern states / when I've been in the southern states have been the most hospitable people I've ever met in my life. Just like the most sweetest and like genuine people that are actually like looking out for one another. So yeah, shout out to the fucking Bible Belt of America for that.
Yeah, I mean, every time I go to America, I find vast majority of the people there are super delightful. Yeah. And quite frankly, most of the time when I go to America and see wacko stuff, it's usually like some like drugged out wacko. It's like the most of the people you talk, I don't know. I find Americans is in general, they have a more like Canadians, you go, yo, what's up? And how's your day? And someone will be like, oh, it's good. Americans, you go, yo, what's up? And they go, what? Who are you? Like they look at you weird, and then you be like, I'm just wondering, I'm a tourist, and they go, oh, okay, and they'll tell you. Yeah. But it's like this layer of they kind of like they won't just tell you, but as soon as they find out, like, oh, you're just wondering because you're a tourist.
Americans love Canadians too.
Yeah, I love Americans. I love you, America. I do.
I love America sometimes.
I love America. I love America as our neighbor. I would never like the things that I think are cool about America, I think are cool to go see or be next to. Mm-hmm. I would just never ever want to be there. Like even just like we were talking about earlier, like the food and everything. Mm-hmm. It's super good. It's super fun. All the sports, everything you do, it's just so over the top. Yeah. That I'm like, it's cool to go see it.
Classic America. That's their like slogan
Paul.
I was like, what am I saying here? But there's their logo, right? Like,
so how is their national park? That's one thing I wish that Canada would do that America does, is their national parks are so well kept.
Yeah, I mean, like, to be fair, it was a desert national park, right? So there's not a whole lot to be kept. Fair. Like, there's just cactus everywhere. It was super fun. We got to see wild donkeys, and the lake was really nice. It was like a relatively small lake when you compare it to like Shuswap and stuff, and it was very like desert rocky, but it was a really fun time. It was basically like the Lake Tahoe of Arizona.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah, so there weren't a ton of people out because of the like time of year, and they were like, it's too cold. Everyone we met there was wearing like pullovers and sweats, and we were in like bikinis at all times.
I had that when I was in California roadieing. Yeah. We were on the beach and everyone was in parkas and we were suntanning. You're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
You have it a little too good if you're wearing a parka and 25 degrees. Can you tell we're
from Canada?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Everyone said it. They were like, oh, yeah, the lake's so cold this time of year. I'm like, is it colder than the ocean?
Yeah. This piddly-ass little lake in the fucking 30-degree weather can't be cold.
And it wasn't. Like, the lake wasn't cold at all, but it was just their perception of it was really funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did boating and then we were there for 2 hours. And then in the evening that night, and this was the last night, so this is the last thing I'm going to talk about, but it was also like the wildest experience of the trip. Because you think about it, we're all on night 3. We're all just like, we've been partying on a boat. So I took a nap just before this, and we had a teppanyaki chef come to the
that's so sweet.
The house.
Did he have like his own barbecue and everything?
Yeah, he bought his own grill and like own foods and all of that stuff. We had to like pre-order what meats we wanted. The food was awesome that he cooked, but he comes in. He's this little Asian dude, and he comes in and he's so like unassuming. He shakes mine and Claire's hand because we just happened to be at he came early as well, so we were like half ready. Comes to the door, like shakes our hands and like gives us a little hug, and he's like, oh, thank you, show me where I gotta go. And like we like show him where he's gotta go and stuff. He's so like mild mannered. And then, like, we all get ready and we start, like, going out to the backyard where he's setting up. And me and Michaela were the first people out there. Michaela's super fun, super awesome girl. Very on, like, my level of, like, I don't know. She's very on my level of, like, directness, I think.
I was gonna say she's a mess, but oh yeah, directness.
like a super direct, like had a lot of respect for her. Really awesome girl. So we go out there, and she's also, like, I'd like to point out, allergic to alcohol. She didn't drink the whole time.
Asian?
She's white. She's just like genuinely like allergic to alcohol.
Like
makes
Gabe,
her really
then.
sick.
She's like Gabe.
Yeah, maybe like a little bit like Gabe. Like if a little bit like goes down, it's not gonna go crazy. But if she has a ton of alcohol, like she's gonna be really sick.
You know, like a bottle of beer.
Yeah.
I've seen Gabe drink the neck of the beer.
Yeah.
But it was a cider.
Yeah.
And it made him throw up, and he passed out for the night.
Yeah,
So
like similar to that, I think. So we're out there, and we see this guy, and he has these two like huge ass water guns, like crazy huge ass water guns, and we see him start like filling them up, and we're like, what the fuck is that he's filling them up with? And then because it's just me and Michaela out there, he's like, he gives one to Michaela. He's like, try this, and I'm like, okay, Michaela, like try this. Like, I don't even know what's in the water gun at this point. And she shoots the water gun directly in my ear. And I'm like, ah! And we've all, like, bear in mind, we've all just got dressed for the night, like hair, makeup, and all of that. So she shoots it in my ear. I'm like, fuck! And then she gets some in my mouth. I'm like, okay, it's sake. So we have these water guns full of sake. And we're like, okay, we're going to have some fun with this. Like, it's going to be a good time. What I did not expect is the public humiliation that happened with these water guns. He had two of them and like a huge, like, you know, like box wine with the tap. He had one of those, but it was for sake. And the first thing he does, he tells us first of all, he tells us it's water. So like, and he has it in like mustard and ketchup bottles too. She's like, what is that? Alicia was first, who's Rachel's sister-in-law, and she doesn't really drink much, and he's like, oh, it's water. So he just starts spraying them both in her mouth, and she's like, that's not water. And he goes along and does it to all of us, and then he gets the guns out. And we're like, he's doing like where you flip the egg into the hat, but we have like these two sake guns shooting at us. Claire got it directly in my like eyeball. It was so painful, and we end up, and I'm not like shitting you, like my dress that I was wearing for the night was drenched. My makeup was all over my face.
Yeah, like you looked like it was that. It's not like when you get your clothes wet, it looks like you've dipped them in liquid.
Yeah. I to wash off, because the sake as well, like it was fine while he was doing it. It's all fun and games. But then when we're sitting eating, I'm like, my dress stinks because it's sake. Rice wine. Right? So like halfway through the night, I'm like, fuck this. I go and I get in the shower in my full dress. I'm like, I don't care if I'm wet. I just need to wash this smell off me.
Yeah.
As soon as I come out, he's like, one more. And he's got this little maniacal Asian laugh. He's like, when he's doing it too. I'm like, this guy duped us all by coming in so like well mannered, and then he comes out and he's like so crazy, like pouring all this sake all over us.
Yeah, well,
and none of us were expecting it.
Because
so it's just
you
crazy.
can do that if you're a small little Asian dude. You can get away with everyone just stereotyping you, and then you can like really blow the top off because you're like, it was motherfuckers, actually, I'm not fucking small little Asian dude.
It was super awesome. And then what was so cute at the end, he like tidied up all his stuff, and I don't know where, like he must have gone to his car or something, but he's tidying up all his stuff, and he comes back in. We've all changed into our pajamas because we was like soaking wet, and he comes back in this really nice like dress shirt and pants, and it looks like he's just steamed it in his car or something. Like he's so well dressed, and we're all like, what the fuck? And he came and he was like, oh, thanks for being like such good sports and stuff. But he for sure targeted me. And like you ask those girls, he will tell you he like targeted me so hard. So
was anyone else soaked, or is it just you?
I was the most soaked for sure.
But other people were soaked too.
Other people were like moist. I was no one was like dripping like I was. Sierra was really good at it. like getting it all in her mouth and not spilling any.
Oh,
But
so he wasn't trying to drench you. You just kept missing it?
He was trying. He would like go extra long when he was shooting the water gun in my mouth, and then like if nothing was happening for a minute, he'd be like, "You come here," and I'm like, "Fuck's sake, do it again."
That would happen to you.
Yeah, I think he could tell that I was just like up for it, so I felt targeted, but it was a good night at the end of the day, so I'm not mad. And then, yeah, I came home. And that was the bachelorette trip.
That was great. That was actually awesome.
It was super fun, yeah. So that was my week, basically, and then I went back to work.
Yeah, and then work's freaking goddamn work. Okay, I have a question for you. What are your feelings about making social media on money on social media by having a family? Like no, I'm not first off, I'm not suggesting we do that. I'm just saying, like, you know, like I don't even know their names, but there's all those families where it's like,
yeah, there be like when I had social media, there were some, like a couple, like I'm literally talking about 2 families that I saw on there that I was actually invested, and I was like, okay, these seem like real people that are just like filming what's going on in their life and stuff, and I liked them. There was this one couple who, like, they were married and they tried so hard to get pregnant for so long, and then they ended up adopting, and they had like the most awesome baby. It reminded me a lot of like Juliet, but it was before Juliet's time. So I was like, they look like they're having just like a really good life, and that's awesome. But there's some families that are like, in quotation marks, like creator families, that I think how much of what you're doing is just for a camera, and then the camera goes off and it's just like parents on their phone like editing and like making posts while
that's
their
what
kid
I think
is...
That's what I think it's fucked up.
Yeah.
I genuinely, and
I
you know what,
really
you know what,
up.
maybe like you said, you meet that one and it's like genuine, but I'm just very skeptical of it because I know what social media is, as you do, and someone that's got hundreds of millions of followers, or not millions of followers, or hundreds of thousands of followers, they're not just casually sitting there watching a thing and then I go, oh, Neve and Juliet, and I snap a little video, you two being cute. They're curating what they're doing so that people will watch them. Their whole lives are and as you get more famous, I'm also I think it's just impossible to avoid. You do change. Like you and me, let's say we get famous for me just making funny quick quips, right? But then because that's why we get famous, you're going to become aware of that, and you kind of like lean harder into doing that because of it, right?
Yeah, so, and you get attention, and your personality changes.
It does, and that's fine. Yeah. That's 100% fine. It even makes sense, especially if you're doing a podcast and that's what makes your But when you bring your family into it and it's your air quotes business, I think that's fucked up, because you're sacrificing your family. Like, it becomes a business then. And there's like, I've seen all these things, because the reason I asked this, because I watched a YouTube and the dude was just pointing out how fucked up that was, that families do this. And it is, you just see these families where it's like they're just a business, and their kids, like these 2 poor girls, this mom, there's a whole story behind it. She's like, there's a doc on it.
Ruby Frankie?
Yeah. And she like goes psycho, and she's like curating, making her kids do stuff and they don't even care. And I'm like sitting there watching, and I'm like, yeah, because like little kids don't care about social media. It's like a job
for your kid at that point.
But they don't care about social media. One day they will, when they become teenagers and they get into it. But genuinely, I don't think an 8-year-old is really too concerned about like the outward perspective of the followers and likes on social media. That's a more of an adult thing to do.
It's not even that's the most fucked up thing. When I was still on social media and doing TikTok and that stuff, there was this one woman, and she had like, I don't know, her kid was maybe like 4 or 5, this kid, and she would like dress her up in these little like And when I say adult, I mean like crop tops and jeans, like air quotes, like fashionable outfits and stuff. But the majority of her audience, the reason she was getting all these likes and all these views is because there are fucking predators on the internet. And she and so many people were calling her out and being like, the only reason that you're getting views and you keep doing this to get the views and the money is because you're exposing your child to predators. And it's like so many people were saying that it's not like she didn't know it was happening. You know what I mean? Like, you're at that point, you're making a choice to post those videos of your daughter knowing that the only reason you're making money off of it is because of fucking pedophiles watching these videos. And that's a really fucked up.
She's a psycho. She's a narcissist. She's a sociopath. She, like, I don't know. Like,
and that's why even when I had social media, when Juliet was first born, I was like, there are no pictures of her face going on social media because I don't want, like, you never know at the end of the day. Like, 90% of like predator cases are someone you know. So out of your 500 fucking Facebook friends, how do you know that one of those isn't someone that's going to be like looking at those photos in that way?
Yeah,
and like if one person was doing that, it would make me sick to my fucking stomach, so I'd rather not give them the option.
Yeah.
And that was why I was like, no, there's not going to be like a trace of her on social media.
I'm just going to break a few hearts here. No one gives a fuck about anything you're doing on social media. Your whole fucking thing, if you're sitting there all the time curating your things, trying to make it look a certain way, no one gives a fuck. No one, I can't get over this. This is the thing that I think.
But that's the thing. People do now. People do give a fuck because that's life now.
Yes. Okay. Like I kind of agree, but I don't agree in full because, okay, like this is what people do. Okay. Social media.
No, wait, but this is what you do.
You don't even know what I'm saying yet.
Yeah. I have a gist of where you're going, but go on.
Where am I going?
You're going to be like, people scroll through their phone, they'll maybe give a double tap, and then they'll keep scrolling. Is that where you were going?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, that's you, and that's the people we know. But there are some people who are obsessed, and every time someone posts a photo, they have a notification to see that someone posts a photo, and they have to see it right away. That's what I mean. Yeah. Like, it has just
and then
become
they look
life.
at it. Yeah, and then they look at it. And they maybe say they don't like it or something, but that's it. It's so quick. Even you're right. Okay, sure. So they don't just scroll on, but everything that happens is so brief. Like, it's not this like it's like, even think of this. How many times when Instagram and all that was out, you wanted to show someone something, but it was impossible to find it again because it was a day ago. Because the algorithm, or like everything just kept updating and more and more and more. Yeah. So it's just, all I'm saying is your whole, like, if your whole self-worth is through social media, it's not real.
It's a form
or even a lot of your self-worth. If you're like, I just think I find so many people, like, for example, Gabe goes, I have to do social media for my work, and I'll give him this. You know what? It's part of his thing. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. That's fair. But there's a lot of people that say the same thing as Gabe, but they're just fucking lying. Yeah. Their job doesn't at all. True. Yeah.
But I also think it's this massive, like, era that we're in of self-gratification. Like, the amount of, like, dopamine in your brain when you get, like, X amount of likes on a photo. Some people live for that. Yeah. It's a dopamine rush. It's the same as, like, obviously not the same as, but it's the same concept as, like, taking drugs, you know? Like, you get that instant dopamine hit and you feel really good because, oh my god, like 1,000 people have liked my photo. That must mean I'm really good at photos. Yeah. Even if nobody else ever likes that photo again, in that moment, you got that 1,000th like, and that was like the best thing to happen in your brain in the whole week.
Yeah, well, I can understand because with this podcast, like, I see all the analytics of it, right? Yeah. And at the start, remember, I used to be so amped. I'd be like, oh my god. And now, like, I'll check it sometimes because it's just when I have to, like, upload videos, you see it. But I'm not like opening my phone to look at how many people. But I can understand if we were trying to actually, like, if we were making money or trying to grow this, like, in a legitimate, like, let's get at it way.
Yeah.
I can understand why you would be just constantly looking back on it.
But then again, that's the same concept. You're still like,
that's what I'm saying.
Like, podcasting is still a form of social media, dude. Like, let's not beat around the bush about it. It is.
Yeah.
But the difference is for me anyway, like, I don't look at any of that stuff. I don't want to know how many views it's had. I don't want to, like, not about that. I do it because it's a fun thing for me and you to do every week.
Yeah, like,
and I really enjoy doing it.
You're right. It's 100% is social media, but we're not really doing social media with it. Like, we're just posting it.
No,
it's not like
that's true.
Like,
yeah,
you're right.
That's
like
true.
like I'm not gonna disagree with you if someone's like podcast or social media. I'm like, okay, you're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just sitting here chatting, doing it. Like, we're not like we don't have an account and promote it. Yeah.
That's true. But isn't that how every Instagram account started? Before people started getting tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of followers.
Not everyone. Like, now, no. Yeah.
Listen to me.
I'm listening.
Isn't that how Instagram started? Instagram, when it initially came out, and I remember this, it was like a photo album that you could post online.
Right.
So, and it was for you and for other people to see what you're up to. So isn't this like exactly the same thing? It's just a conversation that we're posting online.
Like, I
it
get
is,
no.
It's exactly the same thing.
No, because because social. Okay, yes, you're right. At the start of Instagram, people were just posting photos, and then they got their clout and became big. So right. But now, at this point in time, people all the time use it to make a business. People all the time go out there with the intent of becoming an influencer.
Yeah.
So.
And they don't do that with podcasting?
No, they do that, but I'm not saying
exactly.
that's no. But it's not the same because podcasts are a thing now. Like,
so is Instagram.
Yeah, but
Instagram was
but
a
we're
thing
not
then.
in the infancy. That's what I'm saying. Like, if we had started podcasting, or if you'd started Instagram and you got it at the very start, it just kind of naturally happened to you. But now, by starting a podcast and like trying to get I don't know, influence, whatever you want to call it, big, you're inevitably are doing it with the purpose of that. Same thing with Instagram, where you're like, I'm going to start this Instagram page to try and get big. Whereas at the start of Instagram, people were just posting photos. It's different. It's different.
How, because you just told me they're exactly the same. So how is it different?
Because they're not new anymore.
Neither is Instagram, but you think of all the 15-year-olds joining up now that have like 20K followers.
Right.
So how is it different?
I don't really understand what you're saying, to be honest with you.
I'm just saying it's the same thing. Like, we're starting it for our reasons, but if we were starting a podcast to like get big and famous, then it's the same as people who are starting Instagrams to get big and famous. It's
I agree with that. Yeah.
So why is it not like that same form of like social media? It's exactly what it is. Because social media, like, by definition, is media that you put out there yourself that is socially relevant to your opinion. So is that not what a podcast is?
No, I think you and me were arguing two different things.
Oh, we were?
I think. Because I thought you were talking about how if you just naturally started an Instagram account at the start...
No, what I was saying is the progression is the same.
Okay.
Like, for you and I, we're not starting a podcast to, like, become big and famous and, like, sell products and, like, be like, what's up, guys? It's Corey's World. We're not doing it for that. But the people that also, when they started Instagram, they weren't doing it for that either. They were doing it to, like, post themselves, and then it happened that like they got the following and it became big. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I was making the comparison.
Right.
It's not because I think that I don't know where you were going with it, but that's the comparison I was making.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Let's just move on because I can't remember.
Fair.
Okay. This is a weird question. How long does it take for you to...
5 minutes. I don't know. What are you going to say?
Just going to leave that one there. We'll move on. Answer that one. How long does it take for you, or if at all, to use a towel for a different purpose? So, for example, you're using a towel as like you're washing yourself with it, bathing, right? Clean, drying. Now, let's say Nuo pukes or Juliet pees, a big pee, and then you clean the floor or the puke up with that towel.
Yeah.
Do you throw it in the wash and now it's a towel again, or is that towel not a towel you would wash, like dry yourself with and use? Do you get what I'm saying with the question? Like,
yes.
How many washes, or how long, or is it like that towel's not that's a puke towel now? Like, how's that work for you?
Okay, I get why you're saying this. Me and Derek, so a little bit of a backstory. Since Derek and I have moved in together, one of our biggest disputes, I guess I would say, and to be fair, with you and I, for 2 years of living together, I'd say if this is the biggest dispute we've had, we're doing okay. But towels. Towels is the biggest dispute in my mind.
I wasn't targeting with this. But
I'm targeting you now.
This is obviously a big thing for you.
So, Derek,
go away.
And like this isn't a bad thing. You bathe a lot. Like more than the average person.
For sure.
Which I'm obviously very appreciative of. It's nice to have a partner who keeps good hygiene. So, kudos to you. Pat on the back, gold star. But that also means you go through a fuck ton of towels. You go through so many, like more towels than I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, but I'm okay. So let me just run through. So I wake up in the morning before work. I have a shower.
Yeah.
And then I get home from work, which my job is massaging people all day.
Yeah.
And then I walk the dog and I'll have worked out. And then, so I'll probably have a shower after that, because that's literally a full day of moving around doing stuff.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'll go and play soccer that night and come home and shower, bath. So it's not like it is. I do know it's a lot.
It's a reason. Yeah, but
there's
it's
a
also
reason for it.
Yes. And I'm not like shitting on how much you bathe. I love how much you bathe. It makes you nice and squeaky clean, and I love that.
That was my skin rubbing against itself.
But by default, it does mean you go through a lot of towels.
Yes.
And when we first moved in together, I said to you, I was like, Derek, you gotta fucking stop leaving wet towels all over the place, because it drives me insane. Like, for me, you get out the shower, you dry off right there and then, and you hang your towel back up. Derek likes to do little strollies in his towels, and then they just end up wherever the last place he was.
Those two are Nuos.
So we had but I've just accepted that that's who Derek is. He uses a lot of towels, and that's fine.
So answer the question about the towels.
For me, I shower once, maybe twice a day. And sometimes I'll skip a day because, I'm not ashamed of that. But I can, a towel, for me, can last a week.
Yeah, but okay, here's one thing for sure. Do you get your hair wet every time you shower?
No.
See, that's a big thing. My hair always gets wet, and that's where...
Yeah, but your hair is also so short and dries in 2 seconds.
No. That's where...
You use a hairdryer every time.
I only use a hairdryer before work to make my hair look good.
Okay.
But okay,
nobody's telling you.
No, but you're missing the point of my question.
Okay.
You just got all upset.
I can make a towel last for a week. That was the answer to your question.
No, it wasn't my question at all. My question was, if a towel is used to clean up pee or puke or something, how long after, I'm talking washes, do you wash that once and now you can use that towel to do stuff again, or does it have to? So what if Nuo took a giant puke, it was so gnarly, and you had to use a towel to clean it? You throw it in the wash, and then you'll use that towel right after to...
Yeah.
Okay.
But honestly, if it was that gnarly of a puke that I had to clean it with a towel, I'd probably put the puke and towel in the trash.
Okay, fair enough.
But if it was a little bit of puke and I could just clean it up and chuck it in the wash, then I would for sure use that towel to like dry myself again after.
See, I think I'm a 2-washer.
2 washes? Like you'd have to wash that towel twice before you'd use again?
Like, no, like I wouldn't do that because I'm not like that like worried about it. But like, let's say in that scenario with the puke, I'd wash it once, obviously, but then the next time, if I see 2 towels sitting there, I'm definitely avoiding the puke one until it's the last towel, and then the time that I am using it, I'm just a little like, I don't know, I guess I'd say like in my head about it. I'm just kind of like uncomfortable. The fact that I know Nua puked and then I had to use this towel, and even though it's been washed, it's still in the puke. And that's just something for me that's, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm just not comfortable with that. And so I'm going to say probably 2 washes is my ideal. But anyhow, let's move on to something that I heard that this is, I don't know. I think this is probably one of the more disturbing things that I've heard in the last little bit. And I think like I'm saying this because I hope that people hear this and it actually like flips a switch in their brain, because it kind of did a lot for me. Not kind of, it did a lot for me. Okay, listen to this. So, do you know what the average North American's time on a screen is in a day now?
A lot?
8.5 hours.
That's stupid.
Okay. Do you know what the average North American's sleep is?
No.
6.5 hours.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy
That's
to think that
crazy.
you spend more time looking? And I know what people will say across the board. They'll be like, well, it's my job.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter. You're spending more time looking at a screen than sleeping. And,
yeah.
And it's not just jobs. I'm pretty sure you could easily say that people just being on their phones.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are on their phones so long every single day.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. You don't have to say it, but like, do you know what your screen time is? Do you know? I'm telling everyone. I'm asking everyone right now. Go look at your screen time on your phone. Do you sleep more, or do you spend more time in a day on your phone?
Let me look. To be fair, like talking about screen time, my whole job is screen time. So, but on my phone, wow.
What?
Wow, I didn't expect that. Well, to be fair, that this includes my, so when I sleep, yeah, okay, so majority of my screen time isn't actually screen time, because I have stuff constantly playing when I'm asleep, right?
Okay. So
all of my screen time is between 11 and 5 a.m. and it's 6 hours. So that's my sleep time, but it's because I have stuff playing while I sleep.
So what's your actual screen time?
My average screen time is 8.5 hours. But 6 of those hours are while I'm sleeping. So 2.5 hours. I'm gonna go with.
It is.
Like, no, like seriously though, look, you can see it's between 12 and 5, right?
Screen time.
It's not screen time because I'm not looking at the screen. I just have it playing.
You're literally falling asleep looking at your screen.
I'm not looking at my screen though. I'm listening to my screen. I could have. But there's no function to have my phone locked and still play Disney Plus. So
I'm saying is I'm not going at you. I heard that. I think it might be phone time, to be honest with you. But regardless, I thought that was scary. And I don't think my screen time, I know for a fact my phone screen time has gone up a bit to around 3 hours and 15 minutes. For quite a while, I added around 2 hours, but that was only phone time. I know for a fact it's higher once I get on
so mine's
screens.
technically less than you, because during the day, I'm only on my phone for 2.5 hours.
And you're on screens all day for TV and stuff too.
Yeah, but you were talking about phone time.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're gonna be like, I have less time than you. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a big advocate for. I'm very addicted to screens. I hate it. And I just speak highly of, like, I try to make it people aware of it. And it's always hard because people get very defensive because everyone loves their phones.
Yeah.
And I always try and preface it or preface it by saying I'm not better, because I feel like as soon as you have a conversation about a lot of this stuff, it kind of comes from a place of like moral high ground, and I'm like, no, I'm not better.
Yes.
I'm just letting everyone know that screens are very addictive.
Yeah. And I feel like that is a real thing that that you find when you tell people, like, when I was with the girls and stuff, when you say, like, I'm not on social media, it feels like a very moral high ground thing to say. And it's like, no, like, I'm not trying to be like that. I'm just saying, like, for me, that's not what I wanted, but you go do your thing, like, fucking shake your ass on Instagram if that's what you want to do. Like, no judgment, zero judgment in any, like, way, shape, or form.
Is the person of the week.
Wait.
Person of the week.
Stomp.
Person of the week.
What is the person?
The person is the week.
We can't get all of our little theme tunes off of kid shows.
They're very famous ones too.
Yeah, I was like, we've got the Bluey intro, and then we're doing the Sesame Street person of the week.
All right, your person of the week was Natalie.
Last week?
Yeah.
It wasn't Jasmine?
Oh, maybe it was. Wait, which one organized the...
Jasmine.
Why'd I put Natalie?
I don't know. Natalie has been my person of the week for sure, but...
Okay, well, it said Natalie.
Okay.
I think it was Jasmine, though.
Yeah, I thought it was Jasmine, too.
Okay, and mine was Tanya.
Okay, so my person of the week is gonna be the other person that was organizing the bachelorette party, who is Kendall. Who I'd never met before this bachelorette party, but she is such a sweet soul. She's like just a super sweet girl. She lives in Nova Scotia, and she's Rachel's maid of honor. And even though she doesn't live here, she just, like, worked so hard to, like, get everything planned and organized for the bachelorette. Like, her and Jasmine did it together, and it was just a really awesome time. And you can tell that, like, she cares very much for Rachel.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Cool. My person of the week. Who should I go for my personal week? Someone that's new to the pod that we haven't heard from, or I haven't put on before, that I can kind of send this pod off to. My person of the week.
Oh, if you don't want to do one, I also can substitute. I can do a two people of the week.
Okay.
I have a second person.
Oh, let's do that. That never happens.
I know. This is the first and last time this is ever going to happen. My second person of the week / Derek's person of the week, but I'm vetoing it. So my second person of the week is actually Sierra, because me and Sierra have, like, hung out and had fun and stuff before, but honestly I feel like this trip I just got to know her on a different level, and we really vibed, and she's just such an awesome girl, and I had a really fun time with her this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Yeah, I like Sierra. We always have a good laugh when I see her.
She's so fun. She's so funny as well. Like, she is just hilarious without, like, trying to be. You know, she's just, like, a naturally really funny person.
She is.
And she's with Joach, who I fucking, like, love you, Joach. And
Joach is
she's just such a sweet girl. She's just such a sweet girl. She never has anything, like, bad to say about anyone. She's a really awesome person, and I have a lot of respect and love for her.
All right, so let's sing the praises of Kendall and Sierra this week. What is the person?
Stomp. The person of the week. 3, 1, 2, 3.
Person of the week. Okay, and then we have the last segment for today. Our buy and sell. Buy and sell.
Of the week.
So your buy of the week was my birthday. Kind of jacked up my thing.
My buy was your birthday.
And then mine was not heart pain.
Oh yeah, sick. Yeah. That's a good.
So yeah,
buy.
just I'll go even further into that. My heart still doesn't hurt, so it obviously got better.
Love that for you.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. So my buy of this week, I'm just gonna buy this week being done. Because as you know,
You've had a long week, and you were like on dad duty all weekend too.
I mean, I don't want to blame it on dad duty. That wasn't what tired me out.
No, but it does make the week longer.
Yeah, but like even then, it was just more like the people I had. I had a lot of clients, and just like it was just a lot. Sorry, that was my buy of the week.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's a buy.
Oh no, my buy was it being done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you maybe do some more of this? Okay, my buy of the week was probably just like an amazing girls trip. Like, I love Arizona. Like, Arizona honestly has my heart. And
you usually say the people you went on the trip with.
No, okay, first, like, this is my first point. There's 2 points to this buy, Derek, okay? So first, Arizona has my heart. So anytime I go to Arizona, I'm just in love. Like, if the states had free healthcare, I would live in Arizona in a heartbeat. Like, not even, like, half a heartbeat. And the second thing was just all of the girls that I met and shared experience with that weekend. Like, the only people I knew going into there was, I knew Rachel and Sierra pretty well. And then I'd met Claire a couple times, and I'd met Jasmine a couple times. But that was it. And I'm not a person who has a lot of girlfriends, so it was really nice to just, like, be in a really, like, good, awesome group of girls. And that was a real big buy for me.
Nice. Yeah, I find sometimes it's actually easier to go into something like you have, like that's how I became friends with Alex, Roger, and that whole crew.
Yeah.
Was I knew Alex and Roger through soccer, but vaguely, like very vaguely. I was just kind of whatever.
Vaguely.
Vaguely. And
vaguely.
Bagel. But then so I go to this like houseboat thing with them, and there's like 15 or 16 people, and I literally pretty much knew no one.
Yeah.
And it made it so much, it's kind of like easier to get to know people sometimes because you don't have like anyone, so you just have to be like, hey.
Well, that's nice as well, because you just be yourself, and like if people like and that's what I went in. I'm like, I'm just gonna go in and be my full self, and if people like me, they do, and if they don't, they don't, and that's on them. But everyone just vibed and clicked, and it was really, really, really good vibes.
I was not like skeptical because of the girls. I obviously didn't know any of them. But
you were skeptical because of me?
No, I was skeptical because there was 11 girls doing anything together.
Yeah, fair.
For 3 days. Okay, sell of the week. Mine was the wrong email for my soccer boots, and yours was guys jumping in front of your car.
Oh yeah, that dude. There was the day that we filmed it. I was turning, and this jogger dude like just jumped in front of my car. It was a red crosswalk, and he just wanted to go. He just wanted to go, dude.
Yeah, my sell of the week this week is I'm just sick and tired of everything.
Okay, depresso.
No, I need a moment.
Okay, do you want me to do myself first?
Yeah.
My sell of the week is airport prices. So because we didn't have time to do like go into like the towns of the US, but I wanted to get you and Juliet souvenirs. I ended up getting you souvenirs at the airport, but airport prices are stupid. So I bought like...
Nothing says gift like, sorry, I forgot and I got you in the airport.
It wasn't a forget. It was just that we didn't go anywhere where I could have got you a gift. Do you know what I mean? Like we didn't go anywhere. We were either in the place or we had a planned excursion.
Well, you could have just ventured out on your own in the middle of the night.
Oh, I guess so. Sorry I didn't do that for you.
Kim.
Pause.
Baby is babying hard right now. She's like, oh, I'm a little baby and I got to cry. When. That's me, the baby. My sell of the week is actually a hilarious one. It sucked, but it was hilarious. Okay, so shitting rain for how long now? Right? It's been bad weather. And then I don't know why, but on Tuesday, my client tells me, and they're like, yeah, it turns out on Wednesday, it's supposed to be 16 degrees and sunny all day. And the reason that they're saying that was because none of the weather apps said it, but they had read something saying that the weather was like an article on it. And I was like, okay. And then sure enough, they were right. So the weather is gorgeous.
Dude, all of this week when I've left for work, it's been shitting rain. And by the time I finished, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So yesterday, Wednesday, was like perfect weather until about 9:50 when I was crossing the bridge to play soccer at 10 at night.
Oh no.
So Donahoe picks me up. We're driving, and as we hit the ironworkers, it started not heavy. It just starts going like tick, 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 a little bit. And he's like, "Is it raining?" And I was like, whatever, dude," because it was so light.
Yeah.
And then by the time we got to Empire, you know where Empire is?
Yeah.
It's like right by
I've been there,
right? Yeah, you've been.
Yeah.
By the time we parked our car, which is not even a minute, or it's probably 2 minutes from where we first saw it.
Yeah.
It was sheet rain, like sheets
That's
of rain.
brutal.
And then to make it even worse, so what I found is like my Under Armour is really good. Like the spandexy super tight stuff is really good for when it's real matches, because it's tight to your skin. It keeps you dry or like warm. But if my whole thing is like just warmth, I'll wear my long sleeve shirts, not my Under Armour, because it's like the bagginess, it's just heavier. But I wore my thickest long sleeve and it started raining. I'm not joking. My shirt weighed 10 pounds by the end. Like I could just feel it, like, because it was one of those, like, it was the same thing as your dress. It's not you got wet. It's like if you soaked it in, like submerged it, was like that. So my sell isn't the rain at a soccer. I don't mind that. It was the fact that we drove into it and it was so nice all day is my sell.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's
been like that. It like rains hard in the night and in the early morning. Like it's raining now, super hard. And then it rains in the morning when I'm like taking Juliet to daycare, and especially when I'm like trying to get her out the car and I have the rain like dripping down the back of my neck.
Oh, I hate
that. That sucks. But by the time I pick her up, she's like, she doesn't have her sweater on. We can go outside and have fun and stuff. So like it's a give and take for that.
Very Vancouver. All right, babe. Unless you have something to say, I think we're good.
Let's pop it off without